What's up, guys? There is a lot of drama that has been going on in the anime community for the past 4 days, honestly a few weeks now at this point, thanks to the whole Vaush situation, and I kind of want to dive into it, give my overall take on it, because I just recently was made aware of this stuff yesterday, and I just have been kind of like watching videos, getting a full understanding and breakdown of what's going on, even watching Rev here and like his breakdown of like Meatcanyon's video, and then why he made this video, to just like the whole controversy of Meatcanyon now, actually removing videos to kind of cover his tracks. There's so much that has been going on for the last, like, 48 hours to a week now that I want to dive headfirst into this. And so let's begin this video with showing this clip. Now, to give some context here before I play this clip, this is someone that basically was trying to, from my understanding, from the context I gathered, trying to defend Vaush, and then basically because of that, finding out about like what, lollies are, for instance, they instantly started getting rid of anything that was remotely Japanese related and throwing it into the trash bin because, it has lolly in it or potentially lolly in it, and they want to get rid of it. And I'll show this, in a second, but then we have, Rev kind of talking about Papa Meat here, which I'm just going to give some more context here. I've been watching him for a few years. I haven't seen all of his videos, but he legitimately makes some very creepy, messed up content, but, it's enjoyable. It's not for everyone, obviously, because it can be kind of grotesque and creepy, but I've seen some animations from him, and they can be funny or disturbing, whatever. It just really depends on how you view it. But regardless, though, what Rev Says Desu says here is actually very enlightening and gives a lot of much needed context to just the hill that Meatcanyon or Papa Meat is trying to stand on is not necessarily a solid hill. They're on a sand hill or a glass house because their argument about, like, talking about the worst fandom on the internet, aka, anime and lollies, all that type of stuff, if they're going to make that statement and that viewpoint, they can't be actively, like, drawing content that, has stuff like this. I'm not gonna, kind of rehash everything Rev said here. You can watch the video for yourself. I'll have it linked in the description. Go check it out, because this is legitimately a very good video that he made, but it's entirely focused on Papa Meat and just talking about the situation and controversy that he was talking about. But anyways, let's get into this clip here. So I'm just gonna play this clip, and I'm gonna comment on it when I need to. So let's just begin.
Ruined anime for me in general. I said it before, like, hentai was never my thing, but if you're into hentai, honestly, just stay the fuck away from that shit, because holy fuck, like, you could look at something that looks perfectly fine and then later find out it's lolly, and then you could find yourself in a situation like this. So this...
Okay, I want to replay that real quick, okay? Just to listen to what he says here. That sounds very hypocritical, okay? Just listen to these last few seconds here.
And then later find out it's lolly, and then you could find yourself in a situation like this. So look at something that looks perfectly fine, and then later find out it's lolly, and then you could find yourself in a situation like this. So
okay. Obviously, that's an insane statement. But anyways, let's get into actually kind of why this is being said. So, from my understanding, Vaush is a big content creator that got himself into a lot of controversy as of late. Basically, he started saying the very same thing that Meatcanyon was saying that Rev covers in this video. That's where, like, they're basically saying, if you like lollies, you're a PDF, etc. But the point of the matter is that, the people that are trying to have this viewpoint and saying if you're into, lollies, you are a PDF, straight up, has been kind of exposed to actually consuming that said content or participating in that said content. For instance, you have it where Vaush, he was someone that was live on stream, was making those statements, and then his folders got shown that showcased lolly folders, but also horse folders as well, with like anime girls and drawings and stuff literally getting railed. So it's just like, yikes. So there's a lot going on there. There's a lot to unpackage with that statement just in of itself. So you could kind of see why there's just been so much controversy and drama when you have a person like that was a big streamer that basically was having that viewpoint very similar to Papa Meat, got exposed, and then they were consuming that said content. So it's like, wait a minute, if you said that you're a PDF or consuming content that has lollies in it, and then you have it, Are you saying you are one? You get the point there. There's a lot of hypocrisy and stuff going on with that. And basically what Rev says here with this video is that Papa Meat is pretty much making the same exact statement, but instead of just, let's say, having folders on his computer or storage drives, whatever, you know, Papa Meat has actively participated in making content that would, from his description and his argument, be deemed stuff that would basically label you a PDF. For instance, like, you know, there is multiple animations that Rev shows here that Papa has worked on. For instance, like, you know, this scene with the magic school bus. He's shown a, you know, Gwen and Ben scene here that he's worked on. You know, he showed, you know, a scene with Demon Slayer. But what's even more damning is this stuff with Tom Brady, which I feel like I do need to give some context here. Basically, a few years back, I remember there was talk about this. I remember there was people talking about it, but I don't care too much about the Super Bowl or sports in general, but I even remember hearing stuff about this, to where it's like, basically, you had Tom Brady, like, kiss his son or whatever, and it was very weird. People reacted to it. Papa Meat decided to make a, you know, animation clip, like a video of it, like 2 minutes, but the drawing was based on a literal child. And so, if we're going on everything in terms of creepiness, that is definitely way more creepier than anything else, because it directly correlates with an actual person in a real-life event. So it's like, yikes. So, like, Papa Meat trying to have this viewpoint in this statement, you know, about, like, lolicons and all that type of stuff, you know, it's just like, it is a lot of hypocrisy going on, especially when you have done stuff like that, made content like that. So it's just like, I have the same viewpoint that Rev said. I don't know what compelled him to make this video. I don't know what was going on. I mean, obviously, the whole Vaush situation is being talked about a lot by a lot of content creators. Hell, even I'm talking about it. But, to be fair, it is anime related. And seeing these people, like, come in and trying to, like, label every anime fan basically someone that's a PDF or something, it's just like, it's causing a lot of harm. But also, there is a lot of, like, racism seeped into it as well, in my personal opinion. People, like, going out of their way to basically, you know, go after just anyone in Japan that's into anime or whatever, and it's just like, there's a lot. There's just so much to unpackage with a lot of stuff that has been said in these last few weeks. But let's get back into this, though. So pretty much this individual, as you could see, you know, he pretty much put his own foot in his mouth. You know, I'll let you hear the clip again for you can kind of understand now the full context.
You could look at something that looks perfectly fine and then later find out it's lolly, and then you could find yourself in a situation like this. So this whole situation has honestly ruined anime for me so fucking much that I never want to watch anime again. I don't want anything to do with anime. I got my waist bin here and I got some of my anime. We got Death Note, one of my favorites. Fuck it. Throw it in.
Death Note. Let's be honest. It is a gateway anime for a lot of people. And the fact that he says that Death Note has a lolly in it is just so mind-blowing. It's just so mind-blowing. There isn't one. From my understanding, there isn't one. It's been years since I've watched Death Note, but from my understanding, there is no lolly within Death Note. And the fact that he threw that, it's just like, boy, you know you're going to pull that out of that trash bin soon as this stream is over. You know for a fact you are. But let's continue.
In the bin. We got some Dragon Ball Z, another great anime show. Throw it in the fucking bin. Robotech seems pretty harmless, but who knows? Maybe there's some lolly in there. Throw it in the fucking bin. Ease, based on one of my favorite RPG franchises, in the fucking bin. Hell, I've got video games that are anime inspired. Those go in the bin too. Ease, the video game, gone. The Final Fantasy games, there's probably some lolly in there somewhere. Get rid of them. Final Fantasy VII remakes, gotta go. Catherine, pretty.
Okay. Gotta stop right here. You're not telling me you're picking up Catherine, okay? PC, Xbox, PlayStation, whatever. You're picking up Catherine. You look at the freaking cover. Like, just if you're interested and you want to get a better look at what Catherine looks like, and you know you can look it up, just type in Catherine Xbox 360 or Catherine PlayStation or whatever. You know, just and then look at the game cover. Look at what the game cover actually has on it, and you're gonna tell me someone that buys that copy and has it in their house isn't aware of, like, some potential sexualization or controversy that is within the said game. Hell, there was a lot of conversation around just Catherine years ago when I was a kid when it came out. I remember, people talking about saying, like, this shouldn't have been made because it's just the whole theme of it is, like, adultery and cheating and all that. It's just, it has some themes in it that could be, raise some eyebrows to a lot of people. So it's like, the fact that this person bought the game and then now it's like, oh, I want to throw it away. It's like, bro, you're not going to throw this away. You're going to pull all this out as soon as this stream is done. You're just doing this for a reaction to be able to make people angry, which is obviously working because clearly I'm making a video on it.
Sure, there might be something sussy in there. Let's get rid of it. And just for good measure, Ethan calls people he views as lolicons, he calls them lollipops. So we'll get rid of lollipop chainsaw just to be on the fucking safe side. I'm so sick of anime at this point. I want nothing to fucking do with it.
Not to get off topic though, Lollipop Chainsaw, amazing game by the way. Amazing game, can't wait for the remake.
No more anime in my house. I'm sorry, babe. I know you're in the other room. I know you still like Pokemon and shit like that. No more. No mas. It's Jover. No more anime in this house. Fuck that shit. Honestly.
As you can clearly see, there's a lot to just unpackage from this clip. First of all, okay, we gotta talk about just, like, the throwing away of Death Note to Dragon Ball, okay? He throws away Dragon Ball, and to be fair, there is lollies in Dragon Ball, at least in base Dragon Ball, there is. But even still, I'm not going to get into that argument. It's just like, there's a lot of hypocrisy, especially since he clearly has bought a lot of this. He's probably enjoyed it and loved it. But now because it is controversial and people are talking about it, he's just like, oh, I didn't know there was lollies in it, and throws it away. It's like, bro, just stop lying. Just stop lying. Come on now. But and then, like, he grabs, like, Final Fantasy in different games and starts throwing them in. Like, bro, you're fishing for reactions right now, and it's just like, that clean trash bin. Like, just look at this trash bin. It's a completely clean, empty trash bin that he's throwing these games in. It's just like, he's pulling this stuff out as soon as he's done with this. Like, as soon as the stream is over, he's pulling all those out and he's putting them in the shelf, or he's going to hide them in the back here where nobody can see them, but he's going to keep this. There's just no way he's going to throw away all this content, and it's just no way he just suddenly found out that there's lollies in it. And, let's go back to his words himself of what he said here. Let's go back to 13 seconds of what he said here.
Fuck, like, you could look at something that looks perfectly fine and then later find out it's lolly, and then you could find yourself in a situation like this. So
how? Okay, we're gonna move on. I don't think I need to kind of discuss this anymore. Moving on, Papa Meat now is damage controlling, deleting videos and stuff, because obviously his statement as well, his basically causing a lot more drama towards him. It's ruining his image because it's like, okay, if you have this statement, you can't be actively participating in it when you have clearly been making content and all that. And I do really like what Rev showed here with Critical. I think that Charlie's video on here is a really good topic on the whole subject. And, I think, I want to do what, Rev said here. I want to just let this clip play because I think this is a very important clip that, basically shows a sane person's reaction to all this. This is what their viewpoint actually should be.
Why is cutie such a big deal when anime has kids being sexualized? Well, first of all, anime is fake. Those like children lolly things, those fucking 900-year-old vampires that look like they're 4 years old, the little cum demons that have existed for 2 millennia, but they look like a 6-year-old, those aren't real people. They are animated fake things. These are actual 11 and 12-year-old girls that are subjected to this hypersexualization in this movie that the director has forced upon them. That's very different. This is real world versus totally fucking made up, drawn characters. It's not even comparable.
So overall, this is a very...
So basically, I think that clip really just summarizes, like, a lot of sane people's arguments, what they should have, but the fact that, these people are trying to have a moral high ground and do this, like, virtue signaling type stuff going on, and then they get exposed for basically doing the exact same content. It's like, bro, what are you saying then about yourself? Are you saying you're a PDF? There's a lot. But, I'll leave it at that. Just, I wanted to talk about this because I've been seeing this all over my feed. So many people have been talking about it, and there's just so many people discussing it now that are, like, unaware of what's really going on, etc. Just, yeah, absolutely crazy. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below, how you feel about it. But if there is one thing I want to say before I do wrap up the video, is that people continue to treat fictional characters better than they treat real people. That's the truth. People care more about fictional characters than real people. That's how it is. But okay, I love you guys. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Chibi out.